So I wanted to talk today about up then out. Up then out. I was online researching as I do, and I started to think about sometimes when you're working in corporate and you want the promotion or you want more money or you want the title that'll elevate you, what does that look like? I had someone that I talked to maybe about a week and a half ago, and they were up for a promotion, but they weren't getting any money tied to the promotion. Have any of you all been in that situation where they wanted to give you the promotion so you would get the title, but you wouldn't get a pay increase? And so I was sharing with them, how we could leverage that because they were upset about the whole thing. And then I kind of broke it down what you can do with that. So we're going to talk a little bit about that tonight. And so sometimes when you're up for a promotion or you're thinking about where you work at and you're considering, where do I move to go up, or what would that look like for me? Or the goal is, or the motivation is to make more money. Sometimes when you're thinking about a promotion, it might not come with more money. It might just come with a title and more responsibilities. So let's talk through that tonight. Oh, they do. Stacy said that. Vanessa said yes. So it is common. And there's a way that you can think about that and kind of wrap your mind around that. So let's talk about that. So I'm going to share my screen. There's an article that I found on this as well. What's up, Camille? Another member in the building. I'm matching y'all today. I'm matching y'all. Let me share my screen and we'll talk through this a little bit. I'll go through this article that I found on this topic. Let's see here, and we'll get into it. All right. So this is and I'll have the links for all of this below when I post this to YouTube, so you can check this out on your own if you'd like. And in this article, it talks about why people quit after getting a promotion. So again, when I was talking to someone I'm working with now, they were up for a promotion. They actually got the promotion, and we leveraged that so that they can go on and do other things. And so there's some data that I want to share with you. Just again, if you're new to me or watching the replay, I know my OGs already know this, but in this community, we come together so that we can equip ourselves to be empowered and also be prepared. And so all of these sessions that we have together is for you to put in your toolkit. You have this so that if and when you need it, you can come back to it and say, oh yeah, I remember that. I know how to move now. I have a coach, and he was sharing about being prepared and how important that is. Now I know that, and I was sharing with him some things where I wasn't comfortable, and he just reframed it for me and shared with me that it's about being prepared. So that's what this community essentially is all about, especially for us midlifers, okay? So let's talk about why people quit after getting a promotion. So in this article, there's a lady that I'm going to share with you later, but it basically says that some workers, and I'm reading up here, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it says that some workers are celebrating their promotions by walking out the door. And promotions are typically considered milestones. So we think, right, we've been in a job for so long and we get the promotion and we're like, okay, that's the next level for us. That's the next level up. Promotions are typically considered milestones that solidify an employee's place at a company. That is not always the case. And there's research that shows this, and I'm going to share that with you. There's a large number of employees that leave soon after their promotion. Again, this is according to new data from ADP. And so what it's saying is that employees jump ship after promotions for a host of reasons. And this is via recruiters and hiring managers. And what they're sharing is that weeks and months after a promotion are critical to ensuring that newly promoted employees are fulfilled and supported in their roles. And Neela Richardson is a chief economist at ADP, and we're going to hear from her. So what this essentially is saying is, after you get the promotion, and if you've been promoted, let us know in the comments and let us know your feedback on this. When you get the promotion, are you fulfilled once you're in the role? Like Stacy was saying at her job, they essentially promote you with the title, but not with the pay. And it's almost like onboarding a new person into a leadership role or into the next level, even if you're an individual contributor, whatever the case is, or whatever the title is. Are you onboarding and ensuring that that person that's being promoted is fulfilled? They have everything that they need. And most importantly, are you able to retain that person? So let's look at some data around this. And then we're going to hear from Neela. This is something that she wrote. I'll show you here. And again, I'll put the links when I drop the video so you can go through this. This is about the hidden truth about promotions. This is something that she wrote. And this is Neela Richardson. She wrote this. And I was looking at this graph here. And so I want you to, let me make sure y'all can see it. So what this is, it shows that the different months a person is promoted, and then if they're promoted, when they leave. So if we look at this graph, we're going to look at a month after someone is promoted. It shows that 29% of people, and I'm reading and I'm going to show you the graph in a second, within a month after a person is promoted, 29% of people left their employer. Had these people not been promoted, more of them might have stayed. Only 18% would have moved on. Now, looking at this graph, this is what this says. Now, if you look at the number one right here, I'll highlight it so you can see right down here, right? The one is showing 1 month after a person is promoted. So the orange shows promoted and the purple shows not promoted. Essentially, what this is saying that a month after someone is promoted, right? And it said 29% of them leave the company, right? And it shows here, let's see what it says, that 18% would not have left. They weren't promoted. And had they not been promoted, they wouldn't have left. But because they got promoted, they left. What y'all think about that? So a month after being promoted, this is what the one says. 1 month after being promoted, 29% of them left right here where my cursor is right here. This is what this orange line shows. They're saying that 18%, even though they didn't get the promotion, they wouldn't have left. I find that interesting. If you don't promote me, I won't leave. If you promote me, there's a high likelihood that I'm going to leave. How do you feel about that? And it would be about your goals and your motivation, right? And we're going to get into that. So even if we look, let's look at the other one. By the 6th month mark, this says, by the 6th month, so 6 months after you're promoted, that risk divide narrows. Recently promoted workers and those who hadn't been promoted both had close to the same chance of leaving the company for any reason. The two groups continue to track each other out to the 9th mark. So if we look at number 6 right here, this is what it's saying. They kind of meet right here at the 60%, a little over 60%. So whether you promote me or you don't, it's a 50-50 chance that I'm going to leave. But I think it's really interesting. After a month of being promoted, I'm out of here. That's what it says. I'm out of here. What do y'all think about that? Stacey said that's normal nowadays. Yolanda said, so true, talking to Robin. Robin said the promotion wasn't what they expected. The grass is, there you go. The grass isn't always greener on the other side. That's true. What's up, D? Derek said, I've been promoted at several organizations. Many times the pay won't increase for months. And that's a great point. You're going to hear that later. And there's no support or training. I think that's an excellent point as well. But I think these numbers are interesting because if you look at the 9th month, the very last month here, number 9, it shows if they weren't promoted, they would stay. I think that is fascinating. This purple line, blue line right here, it's above the orange line, which means they were promoted. But if they weren't promoted after being in the company for 9 months, there's a higher likelihood that they would stay at the company. Would you stay for 9 months if you didn't get promoted? It would depend on how the company treats you, right? And what's going on. But this graph, Neela did the work here, and she's saying that in her research, that at 9 months after being at work, if they got promoted, some of them would leave, but most of them that didn't get promoted, they would stay at the company. I think it's interesting at the 30-day mark. That's what really grabbed my attention. That after where this one is here, they out of there. How many percent it was? It was 29% of them said after that, they were gone. And it says, all told, because promotion increases the risk of a person leaving a company, every promotion leads to a loss in effective headcount equal to about 14 days of work over a 9-month period. Let's listen to see what she had to say about this. This is the one that created this.
Look at the promotion trends. The first place to look is that individual contributors, their tenure is actually extended by a promotion. Makes total sense, right? They're already doing a job that they're great at. And to bring in Mary's point into this, that they are acknowledged for that. Now, the acknowledgement comes as a promotion. There are other ways to acknowledge. It's just the recognition of that great work, that it could come with incentive pay, it could come with a promotion, it could come with a special assignment. But for an individual contributor, promotions are a good thing, and it's a good thing for the company. I would argue that promotions are good whether people leave or not, because of what it shows. The second point is it provides an outlet for your bench. Put it a different way, no professional team in this country would only train their first string players, right? They could go out with injury, they could leave, they could retire. If they're Tom Brady, they could come back again and retire again and then go to an airlines. But the point is, there is a certain churn and dynamism in the US workforce. And so when you promote holistically and strategically as a company, it means you're not only thinking about the person you're promoting, but the team that you're promoting them from, and making sure that there's duplicity, that there's skill gains in that team, so that if, for example, this person decides to leave your organization, that you have that skill set built in and ready to go. That points back to the conclusion in terms of the sentiment work, that you want to see people like you represented in leadership. So promoting, making sure that your pipeline is open, that you're acknowledging and promoting people that reflect your workforce is really, really important as well. The final part of this, and I think that this is especially true in the high churn, very tight labor market that we're looking at right now, is that you can't assume that in every employee exit is a goodbye. It could be a bye for now. We've seen a lot of revolving doors in employment. People leave, they go and see grass that's not quite as green as they thought it was, and they come back. And so having that exit interview be not just a goodbye statement, what could we do better statement, but a check-in 6 months later, 6 months after they've left might be appropriate. Finally, I would say also remember that this is a short-term phenomenon. The differences in retention between people who leave and people who don't disappear after a 9-month period. So it's really about what you can do during the transition that's important. And I think that could help kind of mitigate some of these trends we're seeing in the data, but also amplify that kind of motivation you want to get promoted and commitment that Mary ended our data level results with.
What do we think about that? And we'll go back and I'll show you some additional data, but a couple of things that she mentioned that I think is interesting is for the company, and she was sharing that one of the ways that the company can retain, she was talking about retention as part of that conversation, retain people that are promoted is the onboarding phase, the transition part. Like, what does my work look like? But for most people, and y'all tell me if I'm what you think, it's about the pay as well for the majority of people, right? Now, I do know people that I have worked with in the past that was looking for that title. But for a company from a retention perspective, how do we stop someone that we promote from leaving? And so some of the things that she talked about was that transition, that onboarding, to ensuring that they transition smoothly, almost like when we talk about what's happening with the elections, right? The transition is smooth, right? Going from one administration to the other. When you're going from IC, an individual contributor, to a manager role or to a senior role, the transition is smooth. She's saying this is what will keep people. Let me see what y'all are saying. Crystal says a promotion can also give people the confidence to leave. That's a good point too, Crystal. You also see that you can get more money by leaving and going to a new company, and new companies are more likely to give you training. That's an excellent point, because you think about, I think Derek was saying this as well, you think about the training and the support. It's one thing to get the promotion, but a lot of us want to be able to perform and be successful in our new role, right? And I think that, there was a guy that I worked with, and he wanted that VP title above anything. I don't even think it was about money. It was about his family dynamic, and everybody in his family were VPs and C-suite level. I think I told a few of you all this story on one of our lives before, but that is what this person wanted, regardless. And it was a fight with him and his boss and the whole thing. So people are motivated by different things. And had he just got the title, I believe for him, he would have stayed. I think for him, he would have stayed. But most people, to Stacy's point, what she was sharing earlier about her company, people want the title and the money because you have more responsibilities. Why wouldn't you want to get paid for that? Here's the caveat to that, because I had a client that I worked with, and he was up for a promotion, and he was frustrated just because of the fact that he wasn't going to get any money. But another way to look at that is, just like this report is saying, you can get that title and you can take that title and go somewhere else. That title is mobile. And 85% of the time, almost 90% of the time, you're going to get more money. You take that title and you go over here to this company. Now, like some of you all were saying, the grass isn't always greener, but if you're unhappy where you are, he didn't want to stay there for that. He was unhappy, toxic environment, the whole nine, but he was up for a promotion, but he didn't even want the promotion. And so the way that, we framed it for him, let's get the title. Let's get the title. And if you can stay for 30 days, because I wanted him to get experience, there was skill gaps there that we needed to fill in those holes. I don't know if it was 30, how many days I shared with him, but there was some gaps where we need to fill in those holes that he could leverage going somewhere else. And so once it was reframed for him, he was able to push through. Now, if there was mental, if he was mentally being drained and all of that, I would never suggest or recommend staying somewhere where it's affecting you mentally or affecting your health. But there was just a combative thing, I think, with a coworker or something. I can't remember the full thing. But because of that, he's now gone on and, VP, all that. So the way that you look at it when it comes to promotions and the way that you frame it and your perspective on it has a lot to do with taking the promotion, leaving, or not taking the promotion. Hey, Ann said, maybe it's a social thing too. Now that promoted person may be on a different level than colleagues they once were. That's a good point too. That's that when you are in a peer group, when you're in your department and you're singled out to be promoted, that's a tough position to be in. Now you're manager of this group. How do you handle that? How do you handle that? What's up, Mauricio? I'm good. How are you? How do you handle that? Linton said, it took me 8.5 years to get first promotion. See, for Linton, been in the company 8.5 years. Did you get an increase, Linton, as well? Vanessa said, I need my glasses. They might be from being an hourly wage earner to a salaried employee, no overtime pay, but more work. So very true. Very true. There's all kind of reasons that you can think about when you're being promoted, right? You did okay. So Linton you got the title and the pay and the scope of responsibility. So your scope grew, I'm assuming, right? And so some other things I wrote down in thinking about the promotion. Arisa said, I just wanted to thank you for the help you gave me the other day and for everything that you do. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Glad it was helpful. Glad it was helpful. Derek said, I once had a mentor that told me to take the promotion and not worry about the money. That's it. Yeah, it would come eventually. That's it. This one thing we never agreed on. You expected to do the same work for less. Yeah, and it's a reframe, Derek. It's a reframing of the way that you think about it. Because also, like my daughter, she was working somewhere and she was doing extra work. And she was like, Mom, I'm not supposed to be doing this. I'm not supposed to be doing this. But if you think about it, because she was doing supervisory level work. And I said, this is something you can add to your resume. This is something that you are able to speak to when you get in front of decision makers. So there's a way. And she was like, I never thought about it like that. I didn't think about it like that. So think about it. And we want to, as much as we possibly can, we don't want to make emotional decisions. If we're mad at our boss, if we're mad at the company, mad at our job, or what have, if they're trying to pacify you, thinking, let's just give them this. Is there something I can get out of this? Is there a way that this can benefit me? Right? Just putting another frame around that picture. They give you the picture, you put the frame around it. If it's not going to work, if it's not going to work, it's not going to work. But there's ways that you can think about it. The other thing I wrote down was the title. Remember, I talked about the guy that wanted the VP title. He wanted that title because he knew he could leverage it. I think because of the dynamics of the department that we were in, I believe that his boss knew that if she gave him that title, he would leave. Just because of dynamics and thinking about the players in this game, because it's a game, y'all know that, right? It's all a game. It's all a game. Just thinking about the players in that game, I believe that she knew that if he got that title, that promotion, he would leave. And after fighting back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, he didn't care anything about what was going on in his department. He wanted that. He wanted that raise. So thinking about the title, the other thing I wrote down is your title is mobile. You can take that title wherever you go. Right? And some people don't even get the title. They just say I was doing the work and then they put the title on their resume and they take it with them. And a lot of you or some of you may be doing the same thing. You may be doing the work, but you're not given the credit, you're not given the pay, and you don't have the title. And sometimes we have to give ourselves a promotion. You know you're doing the work. You know your boss takes the credit for the things that you do. You know that you do that person's work, your boss's work, and other people's work. Write that stuff down. Y'all know how much I encourage y'all. I got it. I don't have it here. To write a career journal. Write that stuff down. Those skills will escape you when it's time when you're ready to move and you've had enough or it's just time. You'll forget about that. That's why I write it down. And these are things you can leverage. I do that. I do that job. I do those skills. I do that task. I do that function. I do collaborate with these different business units. I do talk to C-suite level. I do this. Write that down. At the end of each week, write the stuff down. Maybe it's something new, a skill, a tool, software, conversations you've had. Write it down. That way, when you start building out your portfolio, when it's time for you to make that move, you have a whole list of things where you can now start to frame it. You and I can talk, or you can get together and we can say, okay, let's put this together like this. This is the function that you did. And you did a manager level function. the tasks that you've been doing, all of the roles that you've played. This is director level. You just didn't have the title. So think about the work that you do. And think about if you're up for a promotion or if it's something that you're aspiring to have and it hasn't happened. Like Linton was saying, it took me 8.5 years. Is that somewhere that you want to stay, for a certain amount of time? Because you ultimately should be, as we say, right, the CEO of you. You're a business. You have assets, you have skills that you've acquired. There should be goals, there should be milestones that you put in place because you've written them down. I write everything down, all the goals, all the things that I know I have to do, all the milestones. I do mine in increments of I do sprints every 90 days. I have 3 goals every 90 days. You could do the same thing every Friday. This is what I worked on this week. Oh, that's right. I did meet with finance and legal because we're working on a contract. Let me write that down. Because it might not be on your resume, but it might be on that job description for that next job. I did do that. I can't tell you how many people come to me and say, yeah, I do that. Well, I don't see it over here on your resume. Well, I did it sometimes, but I didn't know how to structure it, how to format it, how to put it all together. Because you and I both know you do more than what's on that job description. That's why the last bullet I always say on the job description, what does it say, y'all? Other duties as assigned, or maybe asked to do other things. It's that other that you want to be writing down. Linton said, right, everything was added. Derek said, I agree. And I did eventually learn to pivot and leverage my experience. The problem sometimes is that you're already doing, there you go, with no incentive. That's why you have to incentivize yourself. You are responsible for you. You have to incentivize yourself. How is this going to benefit me? All right, if I'm going to be here and I know I can't go right now, and they have me doing this, and I had to reframe this for my daughter because she was ticked. She was upset. She's doing supervisor work. Why am I doing this? They're not paying me. Here's how you look at it. You look at it like this. This is skills and knowledge that you can leverage in the future. Because as humans, if we have something that we can focus on for the future, the moment won't matter. But what we tend to do is stay in the moment. That's why the Bible talks about there shouldn't be an idle mind. You shouldn't be sitting still. You're always moving because you're focused on something forward. That's why everything on your body points this way. Your nose, your eyes, everything points this way. Ain't no looking back, y'all. Everything points this way. And too many of us get stuck in the moment and we make emotional decisions based off the things that's happening that day. It's not a bad day. You might have had a bad moment. So when you get ticked off at your boss because you're doing his job or her job and you're doing Sally and James and Jeremiah's job, write that stuff down. Reframe it. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and do this in your mind. I know you be talking to yourself because I talk to me and I know y'all just like me. So, all right, I'm gonna do it. All right, I'm gonna do it. Do just like Kelly said, I'm gonna write this down. Because I'm gonna frame all this stuff. And I'm gonna say, see y'all later. All right, let me show you some other data points around this. Y'all with me? Let me show you some different data points around this. So one of the things that she mentioned, this is a great report too, and I'll put this in the description. Let me see. Oh, let me share the screen. So I just wanted to read a little bit about what she said. I didn't share that with you. Let me show you here. And so one of the things that she was sharing in this this write-up that she did and the data that she did, she said that we know that a person's commitment to their employers, and I'm reading this right here, and again, I'll share this with you all underneath this video. I'll load it up to YouTube. Well, basically, when she talked about it, Committed and motivated workers can help a company's bottom line, and they're more likely than others to land promotions. But do employers have to worry about them jumping ship? And he says that we know that a person's commitment to their employer depends in part on whether they feel recognized for excellent work. Now, one of the things she said in this piece where she was talking is, remember, I was talking about transitioning and the onboarding to the next level or in the promotion. And a lot of employees, and I think, was it you, Stacy, or somebody was saying that they didn't have, maybe it was Derek, training and support. Yeah, I'll take the promotion, but if you're not going to support me and train me, or even if it comes for something like for me, it came with an established team, right? So I had to familiarize myself with each of the team members. I had to see where the last, manager left off and pick up and take it from there, and with no support, none. So I know that feeling, and it's not a good feeling. The ADP data shows that workers who intend to stay with their current employer also are more likely than others to be committed to that employer. And so one of the things that I was thinking about is the commitment level to the employer. And I'm wondering, if you want a promotion, aren't you upset at that employer? You're staying, but you're upset because you haven't gotten the promotion. So I'm wondering about the data, and I looked for that and I didn't see it anywhere in here. What do y'all think? Because I didn't see where they're staying, but they're ticked off because they didn't get the promotion. Y'all know what I'm trying to say? Like, okay, they staying, but they staying and they ticked off. So are they really happy? I don't think they're happy. They may have stayed, but I don't think the people happy. Y'all know what I mean? It also says when someone gets their first promotion, the recognition might boost their commitment to their employer for a while, but it might also improve their confidence. I think, Camille, was that you saying that? It might also improve their confidence in their job prospects. That's exactly right. Maybe Stacey, I don't know who said that, but here it is right here. Said the exact same thing. If I get the promotion, it's going to make me feel more confident that I can do more outside of this employer. And so it goes on to show, the graph that we just shared. But I'll share this with you all. I think it has some great points in here. This is one of the grids that it showed where promotion impact weakens as job entry requirements rise. So in order to get into a promotion, it's saying that some of the requirements to go to the next level rise. Jobs requiring little or no preparation stand out from the rest, with the highest impact of promotion on the chance of leaving the company. So those jobs that require little or no preparation stand out from the rest with the highest impact of promotion. So the intensive preparation, you see the different lines here. You have intensive preparation, which is low, like it says, considerable preparation, medium, some, and little to no preparation. Up here, it shows high. So if you need to prepare for your promotion, it's saying that the impact of leaving is low. If you prepare, you study, you have deep knowledge, you've acquired the skills, you know all about where you're going, you know about the next level, and you have to prepare for it. There's lower people that are in this line here, this deep purple here, that go for those types of jobs. So if you're thinking about a promotion and it's going to take a lot of effort from you and other people, I would go for that one. According to this graph, people don't go for the promotions that require a lot of effort. If it requires little or no, there's a higher likelihood of people going for that. So if you're thinking of a strategy, it shares with you right here that the stricter the job requirements, the fewer days of effective headcount loss per promotion over a 9-month period. Now, this is talking to the companies. So I found that interesting as well, because it's very telling that people don't want to do the research. And I can attest to this as well. When I'm working with professionals, I have a client now that it takes more than just your documents. It takes more than your resume. You got to be prepared to go into an interview. Your resume is your first interview, right? We got past that stage, but you still have to prepare. At the end of the day, if you get a coach or somebody to help you, they're not going in the interview. You are. So your level of preparation is going to meet opportunity. If you prepare this much and they're ready for you here, you're not getting a job. You're not getting a job. But the person and the candidate that does and prepares will get the job or the next level interview. I found in my experience as well, just in life, the more prepared you are, you can beat out your competition. Regardless of how many degrees, regardless of how many years, regardless of the knowledge, if you prepare, you do the research, you do the studying, you will stand out, hands down, hands down. And so when I push back, sometimes in the comments on YouTube and when I make a post and people are saying, well, this happened or this happened, and I applied for 220 jobs and I haven't gotten an interview. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. And I know we often point at the recruiters and the employers, but we never look at ourselves. I know that's another topic, but I'm saying that to say, because getting a job is the promotion. If you don't have one and you get one, that's a promotion, right? Same thing. If you're working now and you want the promotion, there's things that you do to make yourself an asset and not a liability so that you can go to the next level or get that additional income. You got to be worth it. It's just like if somebody coming up to you, hey, Stacey, can I have $100? You're like, I don't know you like that, Kelly. I attend your live sessions. If I don't know you, I don't know you like that. You know what I mean? What's the value? Am I getting interest on this $100? What's going on, right? You got to be valuable. You want your company to reach in their pocket and give you more money. And you're thinking because I've been here for 10 years, I should get the promotion. Those days been gone. We should know that in here, in this community, working harder doesn't work either. It's about being an asset and being valuable, being of value. Y'all with me? Being of value. This is how you get them to go in their pocket and say, okay, here's your 25% increase. Okay, here's your 15% increase. Because Stacey is valuable. We need her. She's an asset to this organization. She helps us with our bottom line. She saves us time. She saves us money. She is valuable. We need her. Pay her whatever she wants. Y'all have seen that done. I told you about the salary range. Somebody's getting the money at the top. Don't matter where you at. Don't matter what they told you, they don't have it. Somebody's getting it. If you want it, you have to figure out why so-and-so's getting it and you not. Everything points back to who? It points back to you. Always start with you. Not everything that's out here, my mama, my daddy, my brother, my spouse, my employer, the man, so-and-so and so. Those days are gone. We doing some internal work for the rest of the year. Y'all with me? For the rest of the year, because I'm right there with you. We got to do some internal work. We got to do some internal work. What's up, Trish? What's happening? Crystal said, I didn't really like my last job that much, but the flexibility was good for me for taking care of my son. Didn't know how to find a new job with the same or similar flexibility. Yeah, it's good that you were aware though, Crystal, that, I didn't like it, but the flexibility was good. That you were aware of the fact that you didn't like it, you needed to get something else, and you need to have that flexibility for your son. Jay, hey Jay, what's up? Jay said promotions now include assessments and tests. Sometimes it also includes projects. It almost feels like the company is trying to get free work from you and put you through an internal job hunt. Sometimes that's the case. There's some companies, and I think some of you were sharing that, y'all know, I don't know if it happens at your company, but I know of companies, I've been in companies where they make you interview for like if they let people go, you have to interview for the roles. Like if you were let go out of a role or laid off from a role or moved from another department to another, they make you re-interview for your same role. So not only, to Jay's point, not only the assessments and projects, but it's about the value. And here's the thing, if they're making you, like Jay said, do all of that, think about why. Think about why. Why are they making me do all of this? It's not that we just, again, we don't want to make emotional judgments and emotional decisions. Why are they making me do? I'm mad about it. I'm cussing them out. I'm fussing at them. This ain't fair. This ain't right. I've did the job before. I've been doing this for 10 years. Why are you making me do this? I've been here. You know me. Why am I? If you take a pause, why would they make me go through all of this? Why are you making me interview for a job I did before? I'm in the job. Could it be that their thought is maybe there's somebody better? You have been here and you've been here a long time. Why? Why you been here so long? We don't think about that. Because we're of the mindset that tenure is equal to and deserving of a promotion or elevation or more money or a bigger title or more responsibility. Those days are gone. If you don't hear anything else I say, as hard and as harsh as it may sound, they're gone. Performing and doing 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 and I'm doing this and I'm doing this and I'm doing this. Trust me. Did y'all see the new I don't know if you saw it. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it in June. The AI, oh gosh, what is it, y'all? GP 4.0, playing around with it today. They got a whole interview thing going on. The girl laughs and everything. I mean, she just, what you doing today, Kelly? Oh my gosh, the whole thing. If you can't interact with that, if you're not teaching yourself how to be familiar with things, yeah, you got to re-interview for the same job you've been doing for 13 years. Yep, you do. If you want it, you got to interview for it. Otherwise, here's your severance package. It's like that right now. So while you're there and you're learning skills and you're doing work, make the notes of what you're doing. So when those conversations come, or when your performance review comes, or when you're wrapping up at the end of the quarter, you can type up an email to share. Here's some of the things I accomplished over the past 90 days. They didn't ask for it, but now they know. But you know what? Derek did send me, back in March, he told me that he was working with Chat GPT and he's been working with Prime. He got this data from there. So he does know. I do remember him saying that. So, we might want to hang on with the reorganization because he does know that. I need to have a one-on-one. I need to have a touch base with him just to see, what skill level he's at. Before we get somebody externally, let me just have a conversation because I do remember him saying something. You got to put it in their mind. They're not clairvoyant. They can't read. They don't know what you do on a day-to-day basis. They got their job to do, not babysit. They got their job to do. Make it known. Start bragging on yourself. I know we're not accustomed to it. I know we don't like to do it. I know it's uncomfortable. And we're talking about you being the CEO of you. You own you. You own your skills, your knowledge, your experience, your talent. Take care of it. Y'all with me? Jay is crazy. LL Cool J rap doesn't hit these young ones doing it. You log off. That's what you do. You hear me? You log off. Crystal upside down. Jay, you log off. Yes, and yes. Oh, and that's been going on for a while. Ann said, I didn't know jobs are making you interview that. Yeah, you could be in the job. Hey, Kelly, I need, everybody's going to have to interview for this senior recruiter role. And in your mind, you're like, what? What? And I know back then I was definitely making emotional decisions. I am out of here. Y'all can have this. But now I'm more mature. I know the game now. I know the game. I know the game. Because it makes you step up your game. That's what that is. And we all should be elevating. We all should be growing. We all should be evolving. We're not getting mad anymore. We're getting better. We're getting better. There's never a lose. There's always a learn. We winning and learning, not winning and losing. Now that we know, you can't say you didn't know. If it comes to you, if it happens to you, because you was in here, then you cannot say, I didn't even know. I'm so mad. You're talking about layoffs. What am I going to do? You shouldn't be freaking out, because you should have a bunch of stuff in your toolkit knowing, okay, I know. This is not a good feeling. I know. And we don't want this to happen. We want you to make yourself an asset where you are, right? Instead of a liability, how do I position myself in the company, in my business unit, in front of my manager and the person that I work for? How do I position myself as an asset? We need Ann here. You want that to happen. When you're not in the room, they should be talking about you like that. We need Ann here. If we got to do some cuts this fall, we need Ann here. She knows this, she knows this, she knows this, she knows this. When they did the big cuts at one of the companies I worked at, I was long gone. I told this story before, but for those that are new to me, I talked to some of the people that I was co-workers with, and I was talking to one of them, and I was like, man, that was crazy. I saw on the news, all y'all got laid off, you know, how you doing? And I was like, where did everybody go? And they told me about one person that's still there. And I was like, how is she still there? She was a menace when I was there. How did they keep her? And she did this. I'm like, why would they keep? And that bothered me. I'm like, why would they keep her? And then I talked to another coworker. It was maybe a couple weeks later. She said she knew this. I was like, oh, there was a piece of software that she was the only one certified in. The company had to have her in HR. Had to have her. And it clicked for me. Set yourself up as an asset. When those doors are closed and you're not in the room, what are they saying about you? Do you just come to work and just do your job and go home, come to work, do your job, go? Do you get involved, get engaged, speak up, take up space in the meetings, contribute at a high level, update your LinkedIn, share things that are going on, share things that you're doing, innovative things? Be an asset. Oh, I see you. I remember they used to tell me, I saw you in San Francisco. I follow your LinkedIn all the time. And Kelly, you gonna come up here and take pictures of I was known. I made myself that person. I went jogging one morning in San Francisco, going to a LinkedIn Talent Connect, a LinkedIn conference, and I was jogging on the way. Highest viewed thing, and I was just jogging. Kelly, I follow your thing on the thing, and come take pictures. And are you going to come to the town hall and take pictures? I made myself an asset. Now, that was just something I liked to do, not even realizing what I was doing. But I can tell you now, because I know the game. Don't sit there being a bump on a log thinking because you do your work and you do a good job at it, that's all she wrote. Stay on your toes. And if a promotion comes, think about, how does this benefit me? Even if it's just a title, could this benefit me in the long run? Play the long game. Does it come with more money? What am I going to be working on? Is there any support with this role? What type of training is involved? Will I be managing and leading people? What other teams and departments will I collaborate with? And then think about your future. What do you want for yourself? If you have to work, and we all do, what do I want for myself? Ultimately, do we think about that, or do we just get up every day and just go to work just because we know we got to pay the mortgage and pay the bills and pay the insurance? Or do we think like, man, how long am I doing this? What do I want for myself? Do they determine when I retire? Are they going to send me the notice? You got 24 months and then you'll be retirement. Here's what you can expect. This is what, are they going to determine your life for the rest of your life? Or are you going to make a decision about your life? You know what? I'm done at 55. I'm done at 58. My next chapter is going to look like this. Or while I'm here, let me go to HR and ask them, do they have any self-development tuition and reimbursement? Do they have? I haven't even looked and seen. I haven't saw what the perks are at my job. I just come to work. Don't get caught slipping. Y'all hear me? Susie Q's in the building. Susie said, I never had any luck getting promotions and I did contribute a lot and was overlooked. Wonder why that was, Susie Q. Ann said, this makes me tired, but no rest for the weary. It can be exhausting, but you got to set up the game. Play chess, not checkers. If you're exhausted and you're tired, think about how you're playing. It's a game. I know we don't like to hear this. It is a game. And we all get tired of playing. Trust me. I know. I get tired. I get it. But if we got to play, let's play to win, y'all. If we're going to be in the game, on the field, we just ain't showing up, suiting up, being tired to lose. Can we set ourselves up to win? We're not too old. We have plenty of knowledge. Technology is not going to wipe us all out. It's stuff you can learn. And if you tell yourself, this is a skill, just like I learned how to tie my shoe, just like I learned how to ride a bike, just how I learned how to do this job I'm doing now, I can learn this. I'm not too old. How do you talk to yourself? I can do this. Since I have to play, I'm playing to win. It's the only way. I'm good at what I do. Nobody and nothing and no one is going to take me down. I'm not afraid of AI. I'm not afraid of being let go. I'm going to set myself and position myself as an asset. I got this. Y'all with me? Was this helpful? Hit that like button. If this was helpful, hit that like button for me. I would appreciate it. Let me see what y'all talking about. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Crystal said, what sucks is I did not write stuff down. Wish I would have known to keep better track of those things 20 years ago, just 10. That's okay, Crystal. You know now. You know now, hon. That's okay. It's okay. You know now. And moving forward, moving forward, moving forward, moving forward. You just write it down. That's okay. And sometimes, Crystal, you can sit down and think about, you know what I do sometimes, I think about I have to look at a month, or I look at my phone or look at old pictures and like, oh, I know what I was doing then. I know where I was working then based off a picture or something like what was I doing then? Or where was I working? And then I think about, okay, what did I do day to day? You can write that down. And all of you are skilled enough and have enough experience where you can create portfolios for yourself. You want to think now about your body of work. And that's what you take with you. And that's what you start. Like Crystal was saying, I really didn't think about that. None of us did, right? We didn't think about it like that. And so now you want to think of the body of work that you've done. And this is your portfolio of work. Just like when you're getting married and the photographer shows like, okay, I took these pictures of this family and I took these pictures at the beach and these was in the woods. And then what do you want to look? So it shows you all that the photographer did. Same thing, your body of work. Crystal worked here and I worked on ad hoc reporting, and I did some data analytics, and I also did this when I worked here. And then you turn the page, and when I was working here, I did this type of pivot tables and turns and things like that. So that's the body of work. And these are assets. All of that is assets. And one of the things that one of my philosophies and the things that I scream and preach about is the assets that we have at our age, because the focus has been so much on discriminating against us if we're 50 years of age and older, that we start to believe it. And we forget about this gray hair. That's wisdom. I earned that. Talk about it if you want to. I earned that. And it's gotten me where I am today. And you're going to pay me for what I know and what I earned and everything I've been through. Like Ann was saying, I'm exhausted. She paid for that. So you got to pay her. And Ann says to herself, if I'm going to play this game, if I have to be in this game, this is what I bring and this is what I require. Period. Don't let anyone tell you and make you think that here's what we're going to give you. Know what you have, a number, always have a number. And not just monetarily, know the type of work you want to do. All right, I'm starting to get fired up. I'm starting to get fired up. It's helpful, and I'm glad. Loretta, where you been? You've been hiding. Okay, Linda, I'm glad. Jay said the promotion is sometimes lateral in pay. That's true, Jay, in pay, but not in obligations. Employers just assume tenured staff should be capable of doing all things. That's true. Sometimes they think that, and sometimes nowadays they look at tenured employees as a negative thing, where back in the day, being somewhere for a long amount of time was a loyalty thing. Where today they're like, okay, why did you stay? Now you have to answer those questions in interviews. And in my group, in my program, that's some that we work on in our interview sessions. Why have you been here so long? Have you tried for a promotion? So they're starting to ask those questions. Why haven't you moved up? So that's something you can either get ahead of or have a response to that. You want to get ahead of it. You want to have a response to that. And ask yourself that question. Maybe you don't want to. Some people don't care about it. That's one thing I never cared. That's why I did a lot of consulting and contracting. I wasn't a person that wanted to climb the ladder, but I positioned myself as a contractor and a consultant. I knew I would be leaving. I didn't have no pictures. I had no plants. I had no water bottle. I knew I was moving on. But the two jobs, or 2 or 3 full-time roles that I did have, they came to me. And I fought it because I wasn't accustomed to it. It wasn't nature, not on a braggadocious type of thing, but it wasn't something I was after. And everybody has their own, backstory and experience. And I told y'all mine, like, I was just happy to be in the building. There was no other way that I was going to be in a corporate environment where I was. So my dream, my aspiration, my goal, the thing I wanted is just to be in the building. Y'all just don't know. I'm just happy to be here. And so it's flattering and it's a blessing. Kelly, we want you to do this because I worked so hard. I worked hard. It was natural. It was natural for me. Saw my mother work hard, working nights, going to General Motors every night. And the plant was an hour away at night. So this was in me to work hard, just hard. And I love working. I tell y'all that all the time. My clients know I'm up because I'm working. And so for some, it's like, I want to climb the ladder. I had a client who said, I love corporate. I love the language. I love the thing. And I was just looking at her on the Zoom because she loves it. She loves it. And I guess because I was just like, wow, there are people like that. I just love it. But we're like, if there was a spectrum, she was over here at the top and I was over here because she loved corporate because of this. I loved it because I just got to be in corporate. She loved it for being able, having the ability to climb the ladder. So always know your why. And you don't know, you don't know, everybody, got different reasons and goals and aspirations and things like that. So my child is in the building, y'all. Y'all see her. Let's go. Get fired up. You go to bed. It's late. You go to bed. You go night night. I used to tell her, go night night. She used to sing herself to sleep, y'all. She would find a fat part on her grandmother's arm or her arm. She gonna hang up. She was like, Mom, or on my arm. She used to sing. Okay, I'm done, Tia. Derek said, you make another great point. Sometimes seniority is almost as much of a disadvantage as being unemployed for a lengthy time. That's true. You still have to prove your value and potential to grow. That's very true. You're welcome, Stace. You're welcome, Stace. I love you guys. And listen, y'all know I don't fuss at y'all. There's people not going to talk about, I knew she's going to say something. There's people that's going to just paint the picture for you and like, all you got to do is get your resume done. No, you got to be an asset. You got to be valuable. Like, come on. The game has changed. It's going to take a lot more. Y'all feel it. Like Ann was saying, it's exhausting. It's exhausting. And it is. It is. I work with clients that have been in tears. And I'll tell you, a lot of the times, y'all, is how we talk to ourselves. And for us that are in our midlife, we've been through so much. We've seen so much. We've experienced so much. We felt so much. But we're not done, y'all. We're not done. And Robin and Derek and Susan and those that have been with me for a minute, I've said what was almost 3 years, right, y'all? I said they're going to need us. I've been saying this, y'all. I've been saying this because I know. Don't give up. Don't give up hope. Stay connected. It's the reason why these lights are bright because they plugged in. That's how you stay bright. Stay plugged in. This community is fabulous. Everybody in here has something to contribute. Everybody in here has something to offer. I love when I see y'all afterwards. I read the comments. I love to see y'all connecting and talking and all the things because that was my vision. It's not a one person. It can never be a one person thing. Anybody out there on their own thinking it can never be. God used a person. Moses took the whole crew to the sea, right? He always used a person, but it takes everybody. Don't neglect the people right here in the comments with you. Don't neglect that. Stay plugged in, y'all. I got your back. I got your back. I love y'all. Have a great Memorial Day. Have a great holiday. Eat lots of barbecue. Enjoy your family. Kiss on them. Love on them. Members, I will be sharing with you the last week's what we got coming up. Make sure you check out your video. Everybody in green. Woo, 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 woo. You're welcome, Camille. Love y'all. Stacey said you have to play up to people. And for me, that is so hard. I know. That is hard. That is hard. Tia had a hard time with that as well. Tia be ready to bless them out. She do not like that. None of us do. None of us like to play up to people. That's yes, Stace. I get you on that. Camille, thank you, Kelly. You're welcome. You're welcome. It is hard to do that. That's part of the game, unfortunately. Stacy, you're welcome, Keith. You're welcome. You're so welcome. I saw your picture in the group. I was wondering what you look like. Y'all have a great weekend. Enjoy your holiday. Love on your families and eat a lot of food. And we're gonna end out the month. There's a way, y'all, that I'm trying to figure out. I think I need some type of software, but I didn't know that StreamYard you can call in. That way I get to talk to y'all. There's a way. So I'm trying to figure that out, but I think there's a tool or something where you can call in. So I'm trying to figure that out. And we're going to have those. Those will be fun. Those will be fun. You're welcome. Mwah. Love y'all. Have a great week. Have a great weekend. Enjoy your holiday. Make sure no work, no work, all downtime. Y'all have a great week. Have a great weekend. See you next week. Bye. 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 Bye.